Welcome back. There is a live look outside at the Oregon coast. That's our In It Spanish Head Resort Hotel camera in Lincoln City. Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. In today's political climate and with conflict happening around the world, many adults are dealing with stress and mental health issues, but children can also experience fear and anxiety surrounding these topics, so it's important to stay in communication with our kids. Here with advice on how to have these hard conversations, we welcome back educator and family coach Amy Williams. Great to see you.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be here.
Great topic that every family can relate to, that
Sure.
sometimes our kids have hard questions that we don't always have the right answer to immediately.
Exactly, for sure.
So we got to think about our approach first and foremost.
Certainly. It's important to remember, if you don't remember anything else, just think clarity, compassion, and honesty.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then assess their awareness. How do you gauge?
Find out what they know.
Okay.
Right, so that way you'll know like where to enter in to the conversation, how long to have this conversation. Do you have to go and prepare and get your facts and information so that you're sharing what is true, and practice being able to deliver it in a way that they can understand. The way you talk about big topics like politics or war or gun violence or anything that they might hear in the media somewhere, it's going to be different the way you talk to a preschooler about it than the way you speak to a high schooler about it or a middle schooler. It just depends on how old your child is.
So making sure that you're using the most age-appropriate language as best you can.
Right, right. True and brief is really helpful to remember, especially if your children are really young.
That's good. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, offer reassurance. That's so important too.
Sure, right. It's helpful to help our children know that they're okay as best we can, and remind them that there are helpers in the world, that there are people whose job it is to figure out how to solve this big problem. Maybe you have the conversation of who those people are, get to know their names and what it is that they do, you know, again, as age appropriate.
Sure, and that's a great place if you're kind of desperate for answers on something that's really tragic. You can always point to, there are good people helping always.
Right, it's their job to do that. And there are ways that that we can help too, kind of helping children know that there are ways that they can be in the world that extend kindness, and that they can be respectful to their friends at school or to their, you know, neighborhood in the community, being kind and respectful as their own person.
Sure.
Right, like reminding them that you have power too to affect change and impact the world, to be the kind of world that you want to live in.
Yeah, taking something that looks negative or scary from a distance and kind of using that to fuel something positive in them.
What can I do in my house, in my classroom, my neighborhood?
How about validating their feelings? That's always important too.
Sure, it's helpful to know how do they feel about it, because it can be that they just want information and they're like, okay, got that, thanks, and then they're on with their day. And then we have a sense of either relief or heightened anxiety, so we have feelings too. So it's important to validate our own feelings and ask, how are you feeling about this? Does this, sometimes a story like that might make some people nervous or scared or curious or confused or whatever, and then give them some language to share. Yeah, I'm feeling scared, or oh, I'm happy, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Right, and then just keep tabs on that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Be honest but gentle.
Yes,
It's a great approach.
Age appropriate.
Yeah.
Right? What you're going to talk to a preschooler about, what's happening in November or what's happening across the world, is different than the way that you talk with a middle schooler or high schooler about it. So age appropriate and clarity.
And then media consumption, we've got to, really monitor, especially the younger kids, what we know that they're taking in the first place.
100%. We may not know, and it's important for families out there to check in and see, what do our children have access to? Do they are they on YouTube watching cat videos, or on video games, or watching other kinds of programming? Are there limits to where they can rabbit trail from that YouTube video on this to something else, and we may not know about it? So being aware of that, and also being aware of our own media consumption, because how many times have you had your phone open and you were reading a news article or something, and you look back and your kid is there over your shoulder, or you're having a conversation with your partner or with someone, and you have feelings about it too.
Sure.
And they're absorbing all of that and taking that on as this is the truth. If my important person says this, feels like that, okay, if they're scared, I should be scared too.
Yeah, that's a great reminder. Well, and then going
Yeah.
off of that media literacy as your kids get older and helping them understand how to navigate endless information that isn't all true.
Right, and help them think critically. I mean, it's part of their work as a growing adolescent to look at things from a global perspective and see how do they fit into that, what do they believe about it, and what do they want to do about it, right? That's kind of one of the many works of an adolescent.
Yeah.
What can I do to change things, or am I feeling defeated because I don't know what I can do?
Right.
Yeah.
These are all really good reminders, especially in an election year, because I think sometimes we don't even realize how much media is coming at us. Every
From all
commercial break,
directions.
everything that you see, it's a little bit of bombardment. And you even have more tips that we can get through today on your website that we will link to as well. Tons of useful information for kids of all ages.
I just made a longer piece for your viewers if they wanted to hear more or to share it with their people, you know.
There
so
you go.
Others are aware.
Super helpful. Hey, thanks for stopping by. It was great to see you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me.
We'll have more information about Amy as well as that link to her video on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.